Hi, this is Troy with Chicopee Farms, and today I'm going to be showing you how to take apart and use other materials from our Birdie Tweats package to use for bird bedding. So you're going to need the product itself, suet cage, some sort of mixing tub, and a good pair of scissors. So start off, move these over so you can see the product. If you haven't seen this yet, it's a brand new product that we have started making for bird bedding. It is the same wool you find in our 100% Michigan merino wool dryer balls, and it's all organic, natural packaging. Paper, jute, and burlap. You can use all these materials for the bird bedding as well. So the first thing you're going to do is cut on the inside of the sewing line. Same on the other side. And on the top. And there. Now you have your wool out. You just peel all that back. And you can take your wool out until later. Now for all this other stuff, you can use it too. For the jute, you're going to get all the strands out, and you're gonna want to cut them in 1-inch increments. So once you get them all done and out, there you go. You can also cut. You're going to want to throw away where it was sewed, because you can't really use that. So put this aside. Let me save these burlap. And put the paper aside for right now. Throw this away too, it has a sewing line on it. Just pretty much just throw everything away that has sewing line. And then with everything that you throw away too, like this, it has some sewing line still on it. Everything is compostable, so you can just bury it in your garden or just throw it out in the woods and it will decompose. So you don't have to put it in a landfill. You put all your little bits over here. And throw this away. Paper. Keep that. Now for all these, I recommend cutting them in 1 to 1.5 inch little bits, and the birds can pick it out of the suet cage and add it to their nest. So, I will be right back. Okay, we're back. So, you should now have the majority of your jute cord cut up. You can finish cutting up the last little bit. There you go. It's all done. Now, if you're really ambitious, you can pull apart all the burlap in individual cords, like so. Or you can just cut it in really thin strips and just use it that way. So either or, it's up to you. And also the burlap is fully compostable if you do not want to use it. So I'm just going to cut these up in little strips, and maybe some of them pull apart. Oh, and then cut these two, any strands you have, in 1-inch increments as well. So, you can do that. You have this whole sheet to mess around with, so you can do whatever you want. I'm going to cut these up, and I will be right back. Hi, I'm back, and now that I've got all the burlap cut up, now what I found was best is if you cut it in little squares, and then you break up those little squares. So just kind of get your fingers and just kind of yank it apart. Now once you're done doing this, you can break up the wool bits, and make the wool into little pieces. You mix this up with it and put it in your suet cage, which I will be doing next, and you're pretty much done. Oh, and you can cut up the paper and add it too. And same with the paper, cut it in little bits, and the birds can grab it and add it to their nest. So, now that this is all done, put that pile aside, and cut up the paper. So, cut it into strips, and just snip away. So I'm going to cut up these pieces, and I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, now that the paper has been shredded, and the burlap and the jute, you can take your wool and just kind of get the pan, just kind of rip the wool up, just little bits. Just mix it all together. Kind of break it up. I'm just breaking it up in just little clumps that can still be picked apart by the birds. Okay. So, now you can take your wool and add the jute, the burlap, and the paper. Just kind of sprinkle it in. Make sure it's all even. Add the paper. And I guarantee that any bird won't be able to resist this bedding. They're just gonna eat it all, or get it all, and keep them cool in the summer and warm in the winter. So to get all this stuff mixed in, you're just kind of want to knead it through the wool. If you find a big piece of wool, kind of like grab a clump of stuff and just kind of knead it all together. Probably most of the paper is going to fall out because it doesn't like to stick to the wool. And once you think it's all mixed up well enough, you can put it in your suet cage and you can call it done. I'm going to mix this up a little more and I'll be right back. Okay, now that it's all mixed up, you can take a suet cage of your choice, open it up, and just stick everything in there. You might want to scoop up some more paper, stick it in the corners, and just pack it in there, and you shut the lid. And this one, you can pull it out through the corners of the thing. Just yank it out a bit. And there you go. A treat that your birds can't resist. Maybe pack it in there a little more. And all this is meant to go in a standard size suet feeder, which is 4x4. 4 inches by 4 inches. So there you go. Keep catching. So there is your Birdie Tweats. This has been a DIY from Chicopee Farms, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!